Adolf Hitler, the Führer of Nazi Germany, one of the most notorious dictators in history. He orchestrated the Holocaust as well as starting the Second World War. How did a child once dream of becoming an artist end up in the Nazi Party? This is the early life of Adolf Hitler. On the 20th of April 1898, on the border between Austria-Hungary and the German Empire, in a small town called Braunau am Inn, Adolf Hitler was born in this house, and in this room on the second floor. His mother Clara Putzel is a devoted housewife, and his father Adolf Hitler is a mid-level custom officer. Little did they know that this unassuming house on this unremarkable street would later become a pilgrimage site for the Nazis. At the age of 3, the Hitler family moved to Passau, Bavaria. Here, Adolf Hitler grew up, immersing himself in the beauty of the city with its 3 majestic rivers. Legend has it that as a young boy, Hitler narrowly escaped drowning in the freezing river until a priest living nearby rushed to save him. Hitler barely escaped the claws of death that day. Uncertainty would become the hallmarks of Hitler's early life, as his family would begin living a nomadic lifestyle. They moved to a small village of Fischelheim, where Hitler attended primary school at the age of 5. Here, Hitler excelled, and he would become the star student and the ringleader of his peers. 2 years later, he attended a monastery school in Lemberg. The 8-year-old Hitler took singing lessons, sang in the church choir, and even considered becoming a priest. 3 years later, the family permanently settled in the outskirts of Linz. Here, Hitler continued to receive high marks, and he attended the secondary school at the Bundesrealgymnasium at the age of 11. Coincidentally, one of his classmates was Ludwig Wittgenstein, later a protege of Bertrand Russell at Cambridge, and a prominent philosopher himself. Here, the cracks in Hitler's life begin to show. His father Alois' business venture ended in failure, and he became an alcoholic, constantly beating and abusing Hitler and his mother. The tragic death of his younger brother Edmund deeply affected Hitler, transforming him from a confident student to a detached rebel. Despite his father's wishes for him to pursue a career in the custom bureau, Hitler's true passion was art. Their strained relationship collapsed in dramatic fashion, and Hitler simply gave up studying as his dream was denied. After his father's sudden death, Hitler was eventually expelled from school at the age of 15. Clueless about what to do with his life, Hitler decided to pursue his dream of becoming an artist. So at 19 years old, he, together with his childhood friend August Kubitschek, moved to Vienna in 1908, the then cultural capital of Europe and of music. Here, Hitler has his eyes fixed on the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts at Schiller's Platz. But Vienna was cruel to Hitler. The Art Academy under Christian Riepenkerl rejected him twice for his cold and unfeeling style of painting. His dream of becoming an artist was completely shattered. Guilt and shameful, he kept this secret to himself. One day, Kubitschek returned to their room only to find that Hitler has simply vanished. Along with the death of his dear mother, Adolf Hitler fell into deep depression. With no money and no direction, he lived in homeless shelters and survived as a casual laborer. It was during this period of despair that Hitler became attached to racist and anti-Semitic ideologies. His passion for German history and mythology fueled his ultra-nationalistic and anti-democratic worldview as he dreamed of uniting all German people into a greater German nation. But it was World War I that completely transformed the young Hitler. In 1914, he enlisted in the German army as a dispatch runner, carrying messages between units on the Western Front in France and Belgium. Rumors circulated about an encounter in the French village of Macron, where Adolf Hitler, wounded and unarmed, was spared by the British soldier Henry Tandy. In the battlefield, Hitler displayed remarkable bravery, despite being wounded multiple times and later blinded by a mustard gas attack. During his recovery in Pasewalk, Hitler received the shocking news of Germany's defeat in World War I. Decorated for his valor, he considered World War I to be a defining experience and his political awakening. In the aftermath of the war, the Treaty of Versailles brought severe punishment for Germany and crippled its economy, leading to hyperinflation and mass unemployment. Amidst the turmoil, Hitler, like many others, directed his anger towards the Jewish population, blaming them for Germany's perceived betrayal in the stab-in-the-back myth. After returning to Munich, Hitler worked as an intelligence officer in the army. Soon he was ordered to infiltrate the German Workers' Party, a radical political group. On the 5th of January 1919, Hitler walks into the party's small meeting, where he was captivated by the party's nationalistic, anti-Semitic and anti-Marxist ideas, which aligned with many of his own beliefs. He then applied to join and became the 55th member of the party. From that moment onwards, he would embark on a path that would ultimately change the world for the worse.